Good morning, everyone. I hope you're having a fantastic Monday morning and you had a great weekend. What are you guys going to do with your kids over Christmas? Have you thought about this if you have gone through a separation? Have you had those discussions? This is a really important topic, particularly becomes a very important topic for family lawyers around this time of year. Clients often haven't actually thought about it, or they may not know what we do in Australia traditionally. Now, I say traditionally because we are a multicultural country and we do have other cultures, and not everybody follows the traditional way of celebrating Christmas with Santa Claus and everything like that, but there is actually a common way that we organise parenting orders and parenting plans for time arrangements for children over Christmas. So I'm going to talk a little bit about that right now. Firstly, when you're thinking about Christmas, you think about the Christmas holiday period. So if the children are spending time with both parents, you really need to be thinking about how are you dividing up that Christmas holiday period. If your kids are going to a public school or a private school, it will depend on how many weeks there are, because that will differ. And obviously, when does that holiday period start? Usually that will start at the last day of the school term and finish somewhere at the end there, probably, at least 1 or 2 days prior to the start of the school year. Then you've got to be thinking about how you're going to divide that time. Are you going to divide that time, week on, week off? Are you going to divide that time in clusters? Or is your current parenting arrangement just going to continue? It really does depend on a number of factors, such as the age of the children and what you guys already have in place. That's something to think about and get those discussions going now. It's probably a bit late, but it's a good time to get that in place. Now, the other thing you need to think about is, what about Christmas Day? Have you thought about this? And it's a good time to work that out. In Australia, what we generally do for most families is we think about Christmas Day is a really important time for families, because people like to celebrate Christmas Day with their own family, generally for having a Christmas lunch, maybe a Christmas breakfast or a Christmas dinner. It depends on the family, but we generally think about it as having a Christmas lunch. And both parents really do seem to enjoy spending time with the children for that Christmas morning when Santa Claus comes, and it's important for the kids to be able to experience that at both households. So we generally alternate that each year. So how we generally do that is we would think about Christmas Eve. So we sort of suspend the normal time orders that are in place, and you have Christmas Day and Christmas Eve through to Boxing Day as its own unique sort of time period, where time would start again with a parent. You might be swapping that over, or it might be just continuing if the children are already in the care of that parent from Christmas Eve at some point in the day, and then the children getting to spend the night with that parent, waking up for Santa Claus to come in the morning with the presents, and then being able to enjoy having that Christmas lunch with the family of that parent. Then the changeover occurring sometime after lunch generally. Then they spend that next period of time with the other parent, where they get to have, Christmas, the afternoon, Christmas night, and then Boxing Day. So that's generally how it works. Everyone can definitely work out arrangements that work best for their family, but that's something to think about if you haven't already put that in place. And it is getting very close to the mark, so I definitely can encourage everybody to have those discussions now if you haven't already, to work it out so there's no tension on the day. If there is any conflict, try to come up with a place where you can do the changeover. Maybe it's going to be at a McDonald's. That's what we would normally suggest. We don't want changeovers to occur at places like police stations, because that's not nice for kids. McDonald's is great because there's always CCTV cameras, or another family member could do the changeover. We want to keep that conflict as minimal as possible around the kids to lessen any anxiety they might feel as well around those changeover events if there is conflict ongoing. So please keep that in mind. It's really important, particularly around this time when everyone wants it to be a happy time for the kids and create great memories, and just try to keep focused on the kids. It's hard when there's conflict. It's hard if the separation has been recent. There's lots of mixed emotions, particularly around Christmas, where people feel a sense of loss over the family that they had and the family family that the children had, but this is a time for the kids to continue to enjoy their childhood and have great memories with both parents. So then when you think about the following year, you generally would alternate. Then the other parent gets to have, the parent who didn't get to spend the Christmas Eve would then spend the Christmas Eve. That's if that's sort of a typical parenting arrangement where the children are spending time with both parents. Okay, so have a think about that. If the kids aren't spending time with both parents in a traditional structure, but they're still spending some time, like supervised time or a minimal amount of time, you might want to think about an arrangement where they might spend a couple of hours with one of the parents on Christmas Day. So it might be just a couple of hours either supervised by another family member or at McDonald's or at a park or at the beach, and so they get to still open presents and have that special time with their other parent. Or it might be at a contact centre, and I'm sure if that's the case, the contact centre would have already discussed this and made arrangements. Okay, all right, hope you're having a great day. It's very hot here in Queensland. I'm going to put my aircon back on, it's a bit noisy, and get going. Okay, thank you.